Hey everyone, this is Nick,
And Mark.
and we are the co-owners of the Nexus Arcade and Gaming Lounge. In case you didn't know,
Yeah. Frame.
I made a TikTok now with that on it.
I know. Okay.
Cool. Yeah. So today we are here to talk about really where the idea came from to start this business, and really the journey to getting into business. I think that's really, at least where we went with it.
Exactly. Yeah. There's many different ways you can go about it, depending like where you live and like people you know and stuff like that. So this is just like one way that it could unfold. But like we figured we'd just share the story and kind of give you a perspective on how things work when you're trying to get something like this open.
And we're still doing it, so you kind of don't get the end result, but you'll see it eventually.
Yeah, you'll see the end result hopefully within the next 60 days, maybe. At least from recording this, we're still, like I said in the last video, waiting for the two financial institutions to get back to us still.
Yes. But we had another little sneaky snack in there that I didn't really say.
Yeah.
There's possible investors too, which we don't know. But so I'm gonna let Mark start because he's the one that actually, like, over a decade kind of came up with the idea.
Yeah, this is in the back of my mind, was always kind of something that I really wanted to do. It kind of hit me when I went to work for GameStop the first time. I started as a seasonal back in 2010 or something like that, so a long time ago.
Wow, that's
yeah. And then once I got on to be like a supervisor, like their key holder position, that's when I started seeing a lot of patterns of customers being like, man, I wish that there was like a place you could just like try these games out and not have to like come spend $60 and then take a chance of not liking it or something like that. So it's like, you know what? Like, arcades haven't been around in like 20 years. Like, they were an 80s thing, and like with home consoles coming out, it's like, why bother? But now you're looking at $600 for a freaking PlayStation 5 or $1,800 for an esports gaming PC.
And that's like at base price time, like people pay, like charging on eBay, you know?
Yeah,
like,
it's
oh
my gosh, it's so bad. So I kind of started toying around with the idea of, okay, maybe like eventually, like once I get some more experience, I can open this up like myself. So over the course of the next like few years, I just was taking notes on how like GameStop did business with selling culture and stuff like that, and started doing a little bit of research into what happened to arcades and stuff. Then in 2015, I left GameStop to go work at Bull Moose, and that's where I met Nick. While I was at Bull Moose, I didn't mention it a whole lot. I think I mentioned it maybe something small to you and Chris CV and Ben, I think, as well. Like, I was like toying with the idea of eventually opening something like this. So like for a while, it was just an idea for the longest time. And then when I went back to GameStop in 2017, after I had been the assistant manager for a while, I really started to think, you know what, maybe it's starting to get the time. I think I have enough management experience. I've seen how things go on in the inside for the business world. And so I started a Kickstarter in 2017, didn't know what I was doing, and it flopped terribly. I think I only hit like 13% of my goal or something like that.
Which happens. I mean, a lot of people don't make their goal.
Yep, and at that point, I also didn't have a lot of credit history either, so like regular financing, again, wasn't a thing that I could do. So it kind of flopped for a little while, and then I tried it again with another friend of mine. I won't name names, just to protect them in case they don't want to be mentioned. Things were going good. We were doing some research together about how we could possibly get financing, and then COVID happened, and so we kind of lost touch with each other and kind of put everything on hold because we were just trying to survive COVID. And then Nick came in after COVID, after I'd gone back to Bull Moose to become a supervisor again, and we started talking, and I'll let you kind of continue off from there, and let them know like what we've been doing since we met back up.
For me, like, kind of back to Bull Moose, we'll go back there because that's where we met. So that was kind of like my place of wanting to do something. I've always wanted to own a business. I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like, I thought it was going to be a record store because I'm really into music, and super into concerts, stuff like that. Well, yeah. Fast forward to when we started. I remember Mark wanting to. He mentioned this idea, and then I actually remember him and said other person talking about it, and I just decided one day, I'm like, I want to get into business. I don't know where to start. I guess like I just wanted to see. Hey, dude, I messaged Mike. I'm like, hey, are you still doing that thing? And you kind of said, I think we're like, I thought about it, COVID, this stuff, and I'm like, you're like, yeah, 2024 is when I'm kind of thinking. I'm like, would you want to start now? And that was kind of how we really started.
Yeah,
again.
and then we just kind of got together and started doing a lot of like planning to the points that we hadn't gotten to before, or I hadn't gotten to before, either by myself or with the other person. So we got in touch with a business advisor through the Maine Small Business Development Center. I don't think he'd mind a name drop here, Peter Piccone. He is absolutely great to work with. So if you're looking
leave a review.
Exactly, yes. Yeah, if you ever need some help, go to the Small Business Development Center, and any of their advisors are really good, but ask specifically for Peter Piccone. He's so far has been absolutely wonderful.
Very down to earth. Like,
yes, and very honest, which is really good in this type of field.
Yeah, I mean, he's told us, like, some of our ideas might not be the greatest, and we kind of listened,
Yeah.
Like, we're definitely taking his advice, and
yeah, we changed a bunch of stuff in the business plan just according to his advice, and
yeah.
there's some stuff that we didn't agree with that we're still gonna try anyway. But he knows what he's talking about, so we're probably gonna flop in a couple of those things. But
a couple out of 100 things.
Yeah. So yeah, we did the whole business advisor thing. We applied for grants, and we actually went into banks to present the business plan to try to get loans and stuff. Yeah, dressed up in we got merch already.
Little polos.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Polos. We had a couple of giveaways on the discussion forum of the coasters and the mouse pad and that stuff. So,
but even before that, let's even just us getting together.
Yeah.
We literally met up at a restaurant and we're like, let's talk this out.
Yep, we went. Was it at McDonald's? We just
Mainly Brews.
Oh yeah, we met up at Mainly Brews, and I brought my laptop with me that had what I had for the business plan so far. And at the time, I think it was my original business plan, which was 4 pages or something like that. And I went to my school advisors, because I'm at school at KVCC for business management right now. And they're like, yeah, here's a template for what a regular business plan looks like. And it was 28 pages. And I was like, oh, I'm missing a lot of stuff here. So then,
and honestly, I couldn't do that part without him.
Yeah.
That was definitely
yeah, there was a lot of research involved. Then we started getting into financial projections, and I had to try to backtrack for finding patterns of different sales stuff from GameStop and Bull Moose to try to get roughly what we're looking at for sales and stuff like that. And then Nick helped design the logo on his own. Came up with the actual name of the business too. Before, I think, what was I gonna call it before? Mana Games or Mainly Games or something like that.
Yeah, and I kind of poked that thing. I'm like, well, what happens if we want to leave?
Yeah, if you want to get out of state, it's gonna be really weird.
Because I know there's Portland Pie, and it's in Waterville, but I'm like,
yeah,
I get it, but
it's still in the state, so I mean, that's a thing. But yeah, you came up with a really good point about that. And yeah, I mean, ever since then, it's just been making small tweaks to the financial projections, the business plan.
But it's a lot. It's a lot of information.
Yeah,
it's not just hey, you come up with an idea, you do this. It's literally
yep, you got to research what kind of licensing you guys are going to need, the kind of space you're going to need if you need a building, if there's any restrictions to renovations in the spaces that you're leasing. You need to figure out what city ordinances and licenses you need to get. And again, a business advisor is going to be your best friend for all of this.
But even I kind of want to go back to when we first talked, when we kind of came up with the idea, because there's I feel a lot of information there. You know what I mean? From the time we were hey, let's get together. We didn't have a name. We didn't have anything other than, hey, we have this idea.
Mm-hmm.
You already have most of the idea. Like, let's just talk about it, I guess. And then from there is like, okay, and then you have to check names 1,000 times. Like, oh, is this one taken? Or you can kind of slightly
went through quite a bit, I think.
We did.
We went through 8 names that we were trying different variances of. Yeah.
Yeah,
and then
so you go through you can go through Zen Business or whatever, and they check the LLC. So you can go through companies like that online, and then they'll be like, yeah, it's available, and then you can either pay. Peter mentioned that you can do a lot of it for free.
If you go directly through your state, most of the time it's free.
Yeah. So you can get your EIN, which is your business number that you use for everything.
Yep, you get your formation letter, you get a bunch of...
Well, even starting a bank account.
Yeah, that was nuts. Because we needed... Oh my gosh, what did we need to open the bank account?
Well, you needed the EIN, so we had to wait a month or whatever for that. Yeah. So it's literally you're waiting nonstop for everything. Everything.
Yeah.
It's
you needed a certificate of formation that was signed by both of us. We needed...
An attorney.
The letter... What letter? Our partnership agreement letter. That's what it was. That was the other thing.
Okay.
And there was one other thing, too. What the heck was it?
So, yeah, it's... anyway, there's a lot of stuff you need in order even to open a bank account for this. It's not... You can go in and ask, hey, what do I need? And they'll give you a list, and you can kind of go... You can email, the company and be like, hey, what is this?
Yeah.
But it's just, waiting for that. If you're expecting to open a month away, you're not going to do it.
We thought that we were good because we got together in, February or January, something like that. Yeah. And we were like, okay, what if we aim for, late fall, September? And it's we're coming up now and still waiting on a bunch of stuff. So, we might not hit the first week of September. We might have to wait till October, maybe. But expect a lot of waiting, especially when it comes to financial stuff. Banks usually take, 4 to 5 weeks to process loan requests. Yes. And it's nuts.
And that's they might not even accept you. So it's
apply to more than one. We applied to 4 different standard banks, and
they look for 5 different things, or the 3. 3 different things. There's 5 C's that they can go off on, but they look for 3.
Yeah, it was credit, collateral, and character.
Character, I think.
I think that was.
I thought our character was pretty good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, every bank we went to, they liked us.
They seemed pretty chill with us, and especially one of them. But I don't want to name names.
No, we won't.
But they still we didn't get accepted.
Yeah,
it's a process.
It's a lot. So make sure that you research all your financial institutions. See if there's any state-funded programs or city-funded programs that you can apply for that are outside regular bank stuff. That's kind of what we're doing right now. Those are 2 of the things that we're waiting on.
Yeah.
And it's just it's a lot more work than it seems, but it's worth it.
And I want to say this, because when you're doing stuff trying to get on the news and stuff like that, they don't say all the information you say. So we said a lot of stuff that they didn't put in. Now I want to say, I'm just going to say it, how I came up with the name. That was the one part I wanted to say.
Yeah, they didn't. Maybe it was a weird copyright or legal issue thing. Maybe. I don't know.
Well, this is on YouTube now. Yeah. Hopefully Rob Zombie doesn't sue me. I'm just kidding.
It's okay.
But
maybe he'll endorse us.
Maybe. But I came up with the name because the White Zombie song, More Human, says I am the Nexus one. And I was like, that's cool. Nexus.
Yep.
And then
that means coming together. So
and then there was some other businesses called Nexus, so you have to go, oh, Nexus this, and then there's more businesses with this, and then you have to go, oh, the blah 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 Nexus. So it's, and then
I think we still had a match, not in the state, but when I filed this, there's a company in Texas that's also called the Nexus Arcade and Gaming Lounge, but
I didn't know that.
I couldn't find a website or anything for them. I think they registered the name and never did anything with it.
And they approved. Well, there's a Nexus Gaming Lounge in something. There's Nexus Gaming Lounge.
Yeah, I think it wasn't too far away. I think it was Lewiston or something like that. But again, I think it's just the name, because we didn't find much.
But that's the best part about those businesses, like Zen Business or. Did we go through Zen?
Yeah, it was Zen Business though.
They'll tell you oh, this is good. Because if you add certain words, it's like being called the corner store. There's a million corner stores.
Yeah.
And then that's it. It depends on how you market yourself. If it's too specific, I feel feeling.
Yep.
And then it's like ours is a little like we had the word the, kind of got away with it. We had Arcade and Gaming Lounge. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
And
it's a long title to be sure, the Nexus Arcade and Gaming Lounge, but like
and that was the first design I came up with, and I was like, hey, it kind of came out cool. I accidentally came up with it in a certain way.
Yeah.
'Cause, there were certain parts of it that just popped up, and I was like, I don't know how I did that, but I did it. And then I had to readjust it. So I mean, the first design like a couple months ago wasn't perfect. I just uploaded it, and then I realized like
the other shirt I have, and then I think the sticker I have on my car
the stickers are a little off.
Yeah,
but
I
just
it's
redid it.
yeah.
I'll
I'll order a new sticker. Actually, I'll get the Jeep wrapped in Nexus. We'll do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we'll cut it there. I think.
We just want to kind of give you, if you want to open a business of any sort, if it's a clothing line, if it's a brick and mortar store, which are pretty harder to do than online stores, I feel like. But
oh yeah, it's a lot easier to start an online business than
we just want to give you some information. You can always ask us if you have any questions about it. We can give you the best advice that we
leave
can
your questions in the comments of this video, and we'll do another video answering questions. I guess.
Or
That'd
just
be really cool.
if
or email us.
You can do another thing that you want to know. It doesn't even have to be about business. It can be about like games. It can be about music. It can be about whatever you want to know about us. We're here for you.
Yeah.
And that being said, which I said a million times in the other video, until next time.
Yes, we will see you guys later.
See you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye.